Good morning, everyone. It's Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. Did you guys all see that full moon with the Mars beside it and all that Mars energy that's entering the Earth, making us a little bit more aggressive and maybe a little bit more. Well, we have the antidote today. We're going to have our goddesses on. Some of them couldn't be here. Maybe that was just because there was too much Mars energy, but we here are embracing our goddess energy. And we have Katie Steinle here from Muses. And maybe some other people will be dropping in as they can get here. But we just had like scheduling. It's like herding cats here with the Muses. They have all busy schedules. So we may have to go on their show because we're a little easier to herd. But you guys, please take a moment to like this show, share it out, go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the little notification bell if you can. And you won't ever miss an episode. So I'm sure Katie will be doing something wonderful here. We haven't really discussed it, but maybe she'll do a meditation or maybe she'll do some of her magic. So, and she has lots of magic in her. So Teresa, why don't you introduce our wonderful friend, Katie?
All right. I'm so excited to introduce Katie, not because I have her bio sitting right here in front of me that I could read, but because we all know Katie heart to heart, third eye to third eye, beyond and beyond. We've all been there together so much, and the energy is just pure magical. And we all met at the Akashic Academy. We all brought in different skills, different worries, and we all have grown and learned more skills and branched out. Katie has had an amazing journey that is so inspirational. And if you've seen her on our show by herself before, the shows are magical. They pixelate on different platforms and amazing things and portals. I mean, it's magical when we're with Katie. But now Katie has been doing some really exciting things with the Muses. And so, Katie, who are these Muses and what are you guys doing?
Well, hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I cannot wipe the smile off my face because I absolutely love and adore these three. And just like their show came together, based on the community that we all met in the Akashic Records training with Emily Harrison. And, they ended up growing, like Teresa was saying, and bonding and developing the show to Quantum Leap, the vision. The Muses came together in the exact same way. We are all connected, 7 degrees of separation. Again, we had all worked with Emily Harrison and the Akashic Academy, and she had planned a retreat a couple months ago. I'm sure Rhonda's been probably talking about it quite a bit, the Shasta retreat. And so it was so beautiful because a couple of us that had been with Emily since the very beginning, the original group was Rhonda, myself, and then Kat Bendur, who is on the Muses now as well. And hopefully she's going to join us in a few minutes. She does animal communication, and human communication. And she's doing a really amazing animal rescue that came up at the last minute. And so she's literally, as we speak, just dropping the animal off, had to go cross multiple states and, get the animal transported. And then she's going to try to jump on. So hopefully we'll be able to catch Kat because she's absolutely magical as well.
Amazing.
But
Yes.
so Kat, myself, and Rhonda were in the original Akashic training group, and we had all kept in touch. And then this is how many years later, Rhonda? Like 3, 4?
3, 4, yeah.
Yeah, like 3, 4 years later, Emily decided to take it, one step further and start bringing, together spiritual retreats. And so we called Rhonda and we said, "Oh, you have to come. You have to come down from the motherland and come down and hang out with us." So she did, and we had so much fun at Mount Shasta. And the other 2 muses, myself, Kat, and Stephanie Sikis, and Chris Alyssia, we all were in Shasta together, and we were all doing training with Emily as well. And so we just decided one night, a late night under the stars where you're just talking and dreaming and throwing things out, and it just magically came together. We said, we all have such different backgrounds, and we're spread out all over the US. I mean, I'm in Seattle, and Chris is all the way on the East Coast, and then Kat and Stephanie are in between. So it's really amazing, the quantum physics of it. When you bring energies together, it's like 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 3. And so we thought, let's do this to get out of our comfort zone. And it's been amazing for all of us just to be able to share and to get such a positive response. Right now, there's just 2020 is one for the record books, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really
Absolutely.
is, and it's not over yet. We still got a couple months to go, but shows like you guys and like us, like people need that. They need that love coming back at them and balancing it out, because it's a lot. It's a lot for a lot of people.
I know I watch you guys just because I love to be in that that energy, sisterhood, just that energy of positivity. And no matter what you're talking about, it's just so sweet to come in and watch you on Mondays. I just, click it on and say, "Oh, there's my gals," my tribe.
Well, and Chris said one of the couple last shows, she said, "You know what? Turn off the news, turn off, some of the shows, or, just be very mindful of your environment right now." Because a lot of people feel like, I'm so overwhelmed and there's so much going on and it's so chaotic. I just kind of want to go, under a rock and come out when it's all over. But she said, just if you're gonna do something, watch a show like this, or watch a show like the Muses, and participate and share it out. And let's just build this community that much bigger. That's why it's so cool for us to come together now, on this show. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I know. And I know we have a bunch of regular viewers like Sherry Merritt. She comes and watches, and it's so nice when you get to connect with your viewers like we do when you win the Share It Out, and it's so much fun just to see them in person like that. And I don't know if you guys do something like that, but maybe you should think about it because it's awesome.
It is.
But,
Thank you.
We like I said, I love coming in and seeing all you ladies interconnect, and you talk about the neatest things. So, what have you found is different about you guys each? Like, what do you feel like where do you fit in the seasons there of your difference? You know what I mean? You all seem to be a different season. Like, it's almost like, I don't know, it's weird. That's the way I describe it.
You're spot on. I have said the same thing many times. One of the things that I do, I tend to do a lot of different things, but my love is human design, and it really combines a lot of the major esoteric wisdoms with modern science, quantum physics, and genetics. And so it's kind of like astrology on steroids. It's so it pinpoints down to an activation on a cellular level of who you are and who you came to embody, and how to really, a designated map to reach your full potential. And so, the nerd in me, the human design nerd, figured out all of our designs. And there's basically 5 energy types, when you break it down, most people watching the show probably know what an aura is. You know, it's your electromagnetic energy about an arm's length out the bubble that you experience the world with. And what's really fascinating is a statistic I came across: 93% of all communication is nonverbal. 93%. So when you start to really pay attention to what your energy is doing, the environments that you're in, you know, it's kind of like we've all been there where you walk into a crowded room and you haven't said a word yet. And right away you're kind of going, I don't like that person over there. I don't know why. I'm not going to go over there. Ooh, I'm kind of attracted to that person. I'm going to go over there. They look really interesting. That's your energetics. And so it gets really cool when you start to get down, you know, on that level, as far as, you know, interaction. And so what's neat about the 4 main energy types, but ultimately 5, but one is extremely rare, is our show, the 4 of us bring all the types together. And so I think that's why it seems so, you know, synergistic, because, you know, everybody's kind of always balancing each other out. And she is absolutely amazing. You guys have to watch this show just to, she's just next level. And she's got a career-long experience in the military. And so she brings just such a deep level of, you talk about balance, you know, the logic and the abstract, and just, you know, she's seen things most of us, you know, never will, and has such great insight. And then we've got Stephanie Sykes, and she is amazing. I think she's been on the show before. You guys probably remember her because she's got this mane of red, fiery, curly hair. Whenever you see somebody like that, you know your life is not going to be the same. And she is just phenomenal. She has a background as ministry as a preacher, trying to, you know, bridge the gap between, outdated religious philosophy and modern day, you know, spirituality. And so she, you know, we've all probably grown up at some point, you know, or at least I have, going to church in the Midwest and Southern Baptist, you know, and the preachers, you know, banging on the pulpit and just inspiring you, and everybody's going, amen. That's how you feel when Stephanie's around. She just drops the truth bombs. She says what we all want to say, but we're too afraid to say it. That's Stephanie. She's awesome. And then Kat, like I mentioned, Kat is she is a manifester. If we get into the human design energy types, and I mentioned when I was on the show a long time ago, Bex is a manifester, and manifestors are pretty rare. I mean, they're only about 8% of the population. So I was so tickled when I found out Bex was a manifester, and we were both like, I described it. She goes, yep, that's pretty much me. I think it, and it appears. And Kat is the same way. So she's just such a leader, and gifted channeler. Like, tune in to the Muses show just to hear, you know, what she has to say, because anything that comes out of her mouth is pretty much straight from the divine. You know, she's got her team, and she's a gift to be around, be in her presence. And then I have a background in well, we all did the Akashic Records training, and so we all do the Akashic Records readings. And then I also I got teacher certified in Yiren Qigong, and I do the human design piece. So it's kind of like, you know, you have to understand this you know, Maya, this world, right? You have to kind of understand it, because really all manifestation starts with a thought. But what I've realized is, if you don't embody it, if you're not able to get out of your head with this information and drop it down, because we're experiencing this world on a physical plane, you know, on a physical level, that's when you can really move mountains and really drive change and really get that energy moving. And so I kind of help people fully integrate all of it. And then what's cool is I just got a new tool not too long ago. It's quantum biofeedback. So it's this amazing biofeedback program that's based on the Hertz frequency. Everything's energy, right? And everything has a frequency. And so what they've done is some doctors and scientists have come together, and they have basically, I think you had Robin McClendon on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
She does the same thing. She's the one that I was gifted it through. So yeah, there's all these mathematical algorithms that they pre-programmed the perfect frequency for hundreds of things, from body, you know, like what your sensitivities are, you know, what you're lacking, you know, herbs, nutrients, what your stresses are in your body, organs, to mind. It goes down to the EKG of your brain, and if you want to tweak it, and then it's spiritual. It's got oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with it. It's got solfeggio tones, nogiers. It's got you know, spiritual protection tools, sacred geometry, archangels. Sorry, I'm having so much fun with it. It is awesome, and I have to say I can say it's been life-changing for me, because most of you know, I lost my precious son. He had just turned 18, Parker, in January, and it was sudden, it was tragic, and I'm still struggling, but there's a whole emotional component. So it's, you know, there's so many days where I literally open my eyes and I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of bed that day. You know, it's just, I'm so overwhelmed with it all. But what I do is, you know, I pull up the, you know, key stressors emotionally, and I can just lay and play the tones, and it just balances me, you know? And so anyways, I'll have to get together with you guys and do a little, and it captures auras, aura readings. Yeah.
That's
really
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Wouldn't it?
So much fun. Yeah.
Really cool.
We're going to have a little party.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Friday night happy hour.
I love playing with your toys. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're so sweet. And Kat and I just got back from, so Emily had
so that's where I'd ask you to catch our audience. But would you be able to do that?
Yes. If you guys bear with me, I can pull it up, and just give me a second. I just have to set up a new session.
Sure.
Okay, so we will call this.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Just talk amongst yourselves. I just have to enter in. So spirit sessions, and then today's date is, what's today's date?
October 4th.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, and then I guess we'll just put time.
October 4th. And you guys are the 40th. This is the 40th session of 2020.
Oh,
season 3. Yeah.
Which is another, who knows? Bex, do you know numerology?
Yeah, 4 is all about angels. It has to do with angels. Yeah. So.
And do you see my background?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I have such an angel connection. That is so perfect. And with my son, obviously.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's also about support too and stability. So, I mean, there's 4 of us on here. There's 4 muses. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Everybody, we're setting the tone. Whoever's watching, they absorb this energy. We're pretty powerful when we come together. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And 2020 is also a 4. So the whole year is actually supposed to be building support and stability. So we're clearing out everything that's keeping us from being stable.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. It's the theme of the year.
This is quantum happening. Okay, so basically what I just need to do is I just need to capture voice for about 15 seconds. And then down here you can see it assesses and breaks it down into a tonal hertz frequency. So what would you guys recommend? Should we just say like spirit sessions?
Sure. We could say spirit sessions of View of the Light.
And then we'll repeat that. And I'll count us down. I'll say 3, 2, 1. I'll hit record. And then we just, when 15 seconds hits, I'll do this and we can stop, okay?
Okay, perfect.
So, wait, spirit sessions, a view of
A
the
view
light.
of the light. Yep.
Okay, this is fun. Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2,
Spirit,
1. Spirit
sessions,
sessions, a view of the light.
The light.
Good session.
spirit
A view of the
sessions,
A
light.
view of the
a
light.
view of the light.
Spirit
Spirit
sessions,
A view of the
sessions,
light.
a view of the light.
Spirit session.
Spirit.
A view of the light.
Cool.
Spirit
Okay, so
sessions.
it's just gonna take a few seconds and kind of assess everything and break it down. And you can see down here, yeah, it's starting to
That's cool.
break it down. Yeah, this is so fun. So now it's got to analyze.
Mhm.
It's amazing now that back in the day, like 30 years, 20, I think Biofeedback's been out probably about 25 years or more. They used to have huge, machines, and you'd go and you'd have to sit in the doctor's office. They'd cost a couple $100,000, and, they'd hook you all up. And now it's just amazing that doctors and scientists have been able to, break this down into a program. So, okay, I am just going to take a beautiful picture of all of us. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then it's basically about 75 to 80% is the voice, but it does take a little bit of the visual into account. And so, scanning. And then I'll be able to pull up our aura.
Awesome.
Although with you guys, I'm sure the aura is absolutely phenomenal. And then it's scanning. Like I said,
into our Facebook chat.
Yeah, very cool.
Okay. So for us, mind came up first, then our energy field, then our body. But that's probably all because we're thinking and we're talking right now. So let me just go down to aura. And see, it's got our picture in the middle there, and then it's analyzing all the voice fields. It just takes a second. It's funny. It's like probably doing a year's worth of work. Oh, we've got some work to do, ladies. That's interesting because you see how kind of muted the colors are, and they're a little bit dark. We were just talking about the energy that, is happening right now. And I was just coming back from Sedona, and I, couldn't help but hear on the airplane, just some conversations about, Trump's got COVID and I just, I think there's just, and then some people were getting upset, when they heard, people saying that, and there's just a lot of, ununification. And so how beautiful is it? And then that this is coming clearly out in the energy field, because what you want to see are very bright, vibrant colors, that shows what you're really moving through. So we've, the 4 is no mistake. Yep.
Absolutely. And it's perfectly in alignment with this Mars energy we've all been experiencing. Yeah. It's bringing up all of that anger, that unresolved anger that we've been having inside of us, as unresolved issues. And so, of course, there's a lot of density around it. So us being able to see in our energy field how it's still there and how we're, doing the work to remove it. We're purifying. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now. So all this unrest in the world is also unrest within us.
This is why we're anchoring in the light. This is what we're here to transform this energy. It's like exciting.
Yeah. And it's so, for me, like taking in things, I'm multi senses, like I need to hear it. I need to see it. Like I was talking about, to really embody it, and so I love this because when I do the aura checks, it really does, it puts it into like, that's what it is, guys. That's what it looks like,
I love it.
Yeah. That's
perfect. So our job is to get out in nature today and enjoy some of the nature and ground and help clear some more of this crap we're all working through. Because I know I've been feeling it. Absolutely.
Sure. And what's interesting is because I'm in Seattle, West Coast has been just devastated by the fires. It's like nothing I've ever experienced. And they were getting them under control. There was one day where here in Seattle, we had the worst air quality in the world. It was like worse than, Beijing. I mean, it was just weird. But that was going away. And then when I was in Sedona the last couple of days, I guess somebody was saying the fires had gotten restarted or worse. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to come home to smoke or, what things were going to look like. And I got home, it was late at night. It was dark, it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And so I woke up yesterday, and the first thing I saw when I looked outside was, I thought it was smoke. Like, it was so dense and so low to the ground. And I live in, rainy Seattle. We get fog in the fall, but it was different, and I thought, oh no, God, is it that smoky? I went to pull up the weather app and check, and because I thought, wow, that's smokier than I've seen it. And then thank God, I got such a relief when I saw fog, I mean, this is what the world's like,
Yeah.
Like, is it Armageddon? What's happening out there? So I go, okay, it's just fog. But
thank God, it's just fog.
It's just fog. But it was so dense. And even today, it's just this dense fog. So it's so,
it's like a veil.
Yes. Why can't I get this? I'm right-handed. You're right. It's like this, and we've got to break that up energetically.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been getting some of the haze from the smoke of the fires out west. I'm on the East Coast. And so when the sun rises and sets, it's been so bright red and orangish from the haze. It's been unreal. It looks like the sun is literally on fire.
Yes,
it's just crazy.
Red.
Yeah.
Have you gotten some good pictures? Because you
I've
always
gotten
are good.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple. They've been pretty nice, but it was just like, my camera can't pick up the quality. Like, it's been so unreal seeing the sun that color like that. But yeah, it's just, so many prayers are going out for the West Coast right now. Helping,
Even
you guys.
Up here in Ontario, we got your smoke.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh, you did. All the way up there. Well, Beck, to your point, it was
all the way up to Newfoundland.
Oh, wow. No, that's this is global, the climate change. I mean, we're all connected, the butterfly effect. But I was just going to say, to Bex's point about the sun, it's the eeriest thing when you see the sun and it's like blood red from the fires. Well, somebody had sent me a picture from Oregon. Portland was horrific. They had a couple days where I wish I could pull up the picture quick enough, because it will shock you. The entire sky was blood red. It was the color of blood.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. That was interesting. And somebody was saying, I was listening to some weather expert or climate expert, and it was interesting. They were saying, with the global climate change, it used to be, and it's probably similar for you, Rhonda, up in Canada, but it used to be like we'd have maybe, one significant event, like on, the West Coast and the East Coast a year, like one hurricane, maybe two, whatever. Right. But they said now the rate has increased so much. And with my Qigong background, our Qigong master was explaining that with COVID and all the fear and the anxiety on a Chinese medicine level, it equates to the lungs. With COVID, the lungs are filling up with fluid. It's a very watery year. Like I described, this dense fog, the water, the just heaviness. And the way to break that up is fire. Yeah. And fire is very purifying. It's very cleansing. It can be very devastating. But how interesting, there's a lot of people watching that are probably very in tune with Mother Earth and, natural rhythms. And, how Mother Earth is trying to balance in a weird way with the fires, like all this water. So the more we can help lift things up, hopefully the less natural disasters we'll have.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also interesting that, as we're talking, again, I'm bringing back in the Mars energy, because that is a fiery energy. It's the red planet, and so what we're experiencing, burning away all of that density, so is Mother Earth. again, it's like we're connected. You know, what Mother Earth is experiencing, we're experiencing. What we're experiencing, Mother Earth is experiencing in a very visceral way. You know, so being able to recognize that as we're seeing these fires burning, there's also the density burning away in us, you know, and just being able to hold space for that, recognizing that it's necessary right now. While it's also devastating in a lot of ways, it's also healing in a lot of ways. You know, all this is going to come back fresh and new and healed, you know, so being able just to give honor to that and recognition for that, and just sending out love to the people who are being affected, that, you know, we pray that, you know, people are blessed and saved and safe in this process, you know, that everything is happening for a reason.
Yes, definitely. Our hearts and prayers go out to anybody that's been affected.
Well, we know everything's happening for a reason, but we don't understand it. We don't understand the reasons, and we don't understand everyone else's.
Well, and it's
so we
interesting
just look at it as a big,
that
huge disaster.
I
was telling my,
You were telling?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you started to say something. You said I was telling.
I was just saying that 2020 is the year that, I was telling my kids that 2020 is your year, because we can always look back on the year man supposedly landed on the moon, but you guys haven't had that. So here's your year. You can say the year the whole world stopped. You know,
right.
More or less.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So,
It's I feel so bad for the young ones. My son was supposed to graduate high school this year, and so I watched all of his friends, you know, be able to graduate, but in such a just
it was awful,
twisted, like, you know, let down, you know, way. And that was the joke. Everybody's like, oh, this will be the one, you know, that's in the history books, but they just missed out on, you know, all just the innocence of youth, you know, like your prom. And
it was very subdued because they couldn't really celebrate that. My daughter graduated and they had to wear masks. They had to see, you know, they couldn't hug each other and celebrate after. And we had to leave, like, you know, separately. Like, you couldn't have any contact or connection with your classmates that you've gone through all this with. You know, you've gone through 13 years or however many years of school with. And basically it's just a hi as you walk by, because that's the best you can do when the school's saying, if anybody comes in contact, we're going to shut the whole thing down. Like, it was very militarized and very uncomfortable. And I'm a hugger. So I'm seeing all these kids that I've, you know, my daughter's grown up with. I'm like, I want to hug every single one. It was killing me. And watching my daughter go through it, she's just like, Mom, you know, what's the point? Like, she was just, Mom, what's the point? And I'm like, I know, but it'll get better, you know?
Yeah, this generation, they're going to take us into the next level, right? Into the next era. And it's like baptism by fire, you know, it's just, you know, it's a initiation of some sort, you know, and just a rewiring. And, you know, we all are putting our focus and our energy on this ultimately having, you know, an impact for the good, the greater good, I should say, because it's, you know, hard to,
So I really like how you mentioned that the COVID, and I think the smoke is so related, but, you know, the breath, the lungs. And so I'm really feeling this nudge to ask you if you could bring us into some sort of maybe Qigong movement or something that can help us to be able to breathe more deeply. You know, something that can help us to fill up our lungs more and really honor that breath, that flow. Help us celebrate that we can breathe.
Right.
You know, they're actually holding us back from being able to breathe. These masks aren't holding us back. This whole COVID thing, like all these things that are set up to make us think we can't breathe. And so this collective mindset is we can't breathe. And now the smoke, and, you know, so let's get into the breath.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you're so right. I realized that when I was having to wear the mask for, like, you know, 8 hours on the airplane. I was running, trying to get my flight because I was late, and I literally couldn't breathe. You're right. And I was like, this is like, but I couldn't take my mask off, you know, so you feel like trapped. So I'm going to try to move back here. So hopefully, you can see me. And we'll just keep it simple. And what we start and end our practices with in Qigong is called a gathering breath. And so what we're just going to kind of, you know, take, you know, bring up all the air and the oxygen that Mother Earth, you know, provides, and then bring down all of, that free, that expansion, of the heavens. And we're going to bring that into what we call our lower dantian, which is, just about 2 inches below the navel. And that is our storehouse, our little, battery pack that we're able to hold this energy in and ground it in. So I don't know if you ladies remember, because it's been a very long time since we came on and we talked about Qigong, but we have, obviously, in our hands and our feet, we have so many receptors and chakras and, just energy vortex meridians to be able to pull in sensory-wise information. And so one of our major energy, we call it an energy promoter, is right about here below the ring finger. And so if you just kind of do this, it's like basically kind of like where this finger would be. So it can be a little lower, just depending, in anywhere in this area, depending on where your fingers hit. And so once you pinpoint that, we're just going to rub our hands together. We're going to create some friction, kind of start to warm up that energy. And then when we pull our hands apart, you can kind of just start to play with, just picture like a little chi ball, a little round energy ball. And it's like a snowball, and you're kind of just getting a feel for the energy between your hands, and trusting that you've got that energy promoter to really, kind of power it up. And it's almost like polarization of magnetics, right? Our blood contains iron. Iron can be magnetically charged. And our intention, our thought, is that magnetic charge, our brains actually have electromagnetic energy. So once you get a chance to maybe just play with this a little bit, like I said, build your little chi ball, kind of get the connection. What we're going to do is we're going to do sword fingers, and that's your middle finger and your pointer finger, and you're going to point at that energy promoter. You can just kind of circle both directions, kind of maybe go in, out. Obviously, you're pointing specific targeted energy, activating that center even more. And once you feel like you've got that one, go ahead and do the other side. This really makes a difference when you take the time to just kind of warm up and activate properly in the overall effect. Again, just tune in. Picture that turning on, kind of like activating that light, like we were talking about. The focus of the show is just activating your light. And then once you guys feel good, we'll go ahead and we'll just take deep inhale as you open your arms. Picture yourself opening up front and back. And then as you pull your hands together, just feel like that magnetic pull, bringing your hands together, like outside of your mind, let your body take over. We're going to do that 2 more times. And notice as you open up how expansive your lungs feel, how much air you're able to let in. And then bring those hands back together. Pull that into your lungs, that fresh air, that connection with spirit and what is greater than us. Take 1 more breath. And as you pull that air in, just start to focus on empowering your lungs, right? We were talking about feeling trapped, and I know a lot of us feel that on a lot of days this year. But we want to empower, we want to expand, we want to take that energy in from spirit and ground it into our bodies so that we are fully embodied and fully empowered, right? We don't have to turn on the news and be reliant on, other people's opinions and thoughts to drive us. We can create our own. And so after we've done that 3 times, we're going to do 3 gathering breaths. So we're just going to drop our hands down and literally, just as you raise up, just really take in, expand your aura, just pull in all that fresh energy and bringing it up. And then as you bring your arms down the front, just picture, I like to picture almost like a snow globe when you turned it upside down and you shook it up. And when you flip it over, all that beautiful magic, all that beautiful, like fresh energy, you're just dropping that into your body and you're absorbing it. You're dropping it into your dantian. And you really focus on what we call embryonic breathing, which is basically when you were in your mother's womb and we didn't have our lungs activated, we took in that, precious life force energy, through every skin cell, through every opening, through every pore of our body. And that's what we're doing when we're doing the gathering breath. Is we'll do it one more time. And as we bring energy up, and you think about in nature, how perfect everything is. It's like the trees breathe out the oxygen that we need. And as we breathe that in, we exhale the carbon, is it dioxide, that they need. And it's just this beautiful balance. And then we'll do one more. Really take it in. This is a chance to really fill up your lung with intention, with focus, with power. We activated those energy promoters. They're powerful. We're going to just drop that down and just take a moment to let it settle. Like I said, that snow globe magic settling into your body, settling into every cell, not just your lungs. Feeling everything come alive. How do you guys feel?
Good.
Good.
Tingly. Good.
Tingly.
Yeah.
I do too. Yes. Exactly.
Great idea. Yeah, tingly.
Exactly. I just for kicks, it would be interesting. I'm going to see if we can repeat the aura.
See where we're at now. That'd be cool. Maybe that was it. Maybe we just need some breath work to clear our energy.
So the whole audience now just participate. You can say it too. Even though it's virtual, it's all about intention. So just say it with us.
And, keep in mind, like, as we're talking about this, of course, anybody who has had breathing issues or whatever, of course, it's very important to recognize that. And a lot of times that has to do with grief, unresolved grief that we're holding inside of us. So be able to just give yourself permission to start processing and releasing a lot of that grief that you may be holding on to. I mean, there's collective grieving right now. We're all grieving, this huge loss
Tap
of
your lungs.
Absolutely.
Tap the Ho'oponopono while you tap your lungs. Another thing we do after every practice in Qigong is we tap it out. And at first, for the longest time, I thought this was the dorkiest thing. I'm like, what in the world? And everybody's over here doing this. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And a lot of times, if you're tapping right here, you're tapping on the heart and the lungs, people will cough. And they, they're just like, can I help it? Because you just are clearing out, just that debris that you've loosened up. And what it does is it taps out anything that you brought to the surface. And you go all the way down, to your ankles, and then go all the way back up the inside of your legs. And it does. It makes you feel tingly. It makes you feel good.
Yes. And it's one of the easiest things to do. One of the most important things to do. Thanks. It wasn't mine. Thank the universe. I'm the vessel.
Okay, it's not letting me.
I know, but when we get together, that's what the magic happens, right?
That's true.
That's right. You're totally right. It's not letting me repeat the aura scan until I run a tone. So what I'm going to do under spiritual protection, what's coming up is releasing attachment. That's coming up as acute in our energy field, and chanting. Do any of you guys chant or do mantra work?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, okay, because that's coming up as more of a practice that we need to set in place on a regular basis, just in case anybody's interested. But I'm just going to run just a minute of the releasing attachments because I think it'll be good for all of us, right? Yeah. So once I do that, then it'll allow me to repeat it. Okay. And I can run it pretty. Do you want me to run it low in the background?
It's 12:44.
Oh my gosh, this just keeps getting weirder with the forms, you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is interesting.
Yeah. Very cool. This is all about releasing our stories, releasing attachment, releasing, who we've identified as, releasing what we believe is going on as opposed to what's really going on. Being able just to let go of all of those thoughts and beliefs that have been holding us back.
Yes, it's so true. And sorry, right hand. There's that glare. There's a sacred geometry visual. Yeah, you can't really see it. You can't. Can you guys hear it though?
Yes,
gorgeous.
we can hear it. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Teresa, can you take us through maybe a little meditative thought while we're releasing attachments?
All right. Well, let's start in with bringing in new and fresh air and see your lungs filling up with each breath and glowing. Inhale. And let it out with a sigh. Seeing all dark energy, all things that we're hanging on to that are ready to go, going now. Inhale again. Ooh, feel that energy. Let it go with a sigh. And get back to tapping your lungs and your heart and your higher heart. Inhale. And now we're filling our lungs with golden light and wisdom and healing. Let it out with a sigh, all of us together. Oh, we're connecting in, our roots going deep into the earth, experiencing that nurturing from Mother Earth coming right back in pulses up our roots, up our legs, and feel it tingling all through your body. And fill up with this. And the more you fill up, it spills into your aura. It spills into those around you, and you can take this moment to send it around to all the people, all the areas, wherever you want to send it. And we're calling in the energy of the unicorns to take these blessings by 100 times bigger and sending it around and around. And it all comes back to us into our crown and coming down through our body and out our feet and up and around. Our toroidal field is moving gently and beautifully with this energy. How long am I? How long am I?
Yeah, no, I'm pulling our aura right now. I couldn't get enough of it. When you call, this was so pretty. You've got such a magical. Okay, now point proven. Oh, look, it even says it gave us a special flag of how positive our reaction was.
Wow.
Hold on, I gotta get this so you guys can see. Look at that vibrant.
That's beautiful.
Did you guys remember how dark and murky that was when we first got on? And this is just beautiful purple energy. And can you see this perfect blue line, sky blue line? That is literally, we're pulling down from the heavens and we're moving it clearly all the way into our auric bodies. And so that energy is all about the throat chakra and the crown chakra and us opening up like we're doing today on the show and just really being able to, speak in a positive manner and try to open us up to a higher perspective and a higher way of taking in the environment around us and embodying that in a powerful way so we can create the change. We can be the change we want to see in the world. Was that Mahatma Gandhi?
Yeah.
This is really, really cool to see, guys.
That is very cool.
Beautiful work. And to all of your viewers that are lifting us up in this light, it's just, I'm honored to be a part of this.
Absolutely. As are we. That is awesome.
Yes, and it's the color. Teresa just put a comment, beautiful with the beautiful heart. That's the exact color that we were pulling in.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I love it so much.
9:44.
If you can screenshot that and put it in our comments. Oh, if you can you screenshot that and put it in our comments, and then you can after the show's over, you can put it in the comments as
Yeah,
a
you
picture.
can't do it when we're live. You have
I
to do it
can't do
after.
it when you're live?
Right.
Okay, I just screenshotted it. So,
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you
Yes.
can't do it when you're live, but we'll be able to do it after.
because I think that
Yeah,
that
we
will
can
be
share it,
powerful
and then
for
everybody
everybody
can
at
see.
home to see
Yeah.
the difference that we all made. And
Absolutely.
look at all this blue in my background. I had a really profound meditative experience a couple years ago, and I was, just meditating and, having a conversation with my higher self, my spirit guides, and they always try to teach me a thing or two. And so we were talking, and they said, do you know what the essence of your soul is? And I thought about it, and I thought, no, I mean, not off the top of my head. I haven't really, really gone that deep. And they said, what two colors do the sea and the sky share? And I thought about it, and I said, blue and white. And it was so beautiful. It's like they took me into the most beautiful blue. It was the infinite peace. It just went on for eternity, and it was the peace that passes all understanding that they reference in the Bible, because at our core, that's what we are. We aren't resistance. We aren't, what we try to do every day to force what we think we want to happen. If you really ultimately free up all of your energy, all of your attachments, all of it, you become this infinite peace. And the white, they took me into these beautiful, just pure white clouds, and they said purity. And that, I mean, I don't know, that might have just been for me, like what my soul's essence is. I didn't actually say, is this, across the board? Although I do believe we all have that at our core. Some of us might have a focus on, something besides what I do. But ever since then, whenever I look, and I look up at the sky, the blue sky with the white clouds, and I wonder why, when you look, at a lake and you see the reflection and you see the sky reflected in the water, and it's like the water's reflected into the sky,
Right.
we're wrapped in this peace and this purity of the heavens, the cosmos, that, like I said, one of the coolest things I learned in Qigong, and it takes a while, it's a practice, is that embryonic breathing. Because if you can really put yourself in these beautiful environments of peace and purity, like nature that is free, and we can all find a tree or something, and you just sit and you just stare up at the sky, or you watch the water. It's that simple. It's the simple things in life.
Yes, absolutely. The free things, the things that are so accessible that we forget exist,
Yes.
So awesome. It's always provided. That's what we have to keep remembering, is everything we need is provided to us. We just have to stop looking at all the things we think we should have and embrace what we do have.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect. I love it.
I love you guys.
Oh, we love you.
How is everybody feeling at home? Did anybody feel any energy moving between their hands, or? I'd love to hear.
They're saying they're buzzing, and they're saying their whole body is talking to her. Sherry's saying her whole body is talking to her.
So much.
So thank you.
Oh, that's great to hear,
So
Nancy.
Cool. So cool. So we didn't ask you this, but we just wondered if you have Bex has a question for you.
Oh, the question.
We're going to spring this on you. You may have a new one. So
I actually do, because I'm psychic.
Yay. What's your favorite?
I know your question, because I love you guys and I watch your show. It's probably, what is my favorite song?
What song is your theme song? Absolutely.
Or my theme song. Okay, so what's funny is I when I sat down to come on with you guys, I remembered that for some reason, and I go, oh no, I hadn't. I how when you're on the spot, I'm like, oh shoot, what's my theme song? But I have to share. So I just came across this, probably because the universe works magic, and I was going to be on your show, but I've always loved the song "You Are My Sunshine," my only sunshine. You make me happy. The skies are gray, and I sung it to both of my kids when I was pregnant and they were little. And and then when I was younger, I was brought up in, like I mentioned before, this Southern Baptist family, and we went to church all the time. And this, I grew up like at, summer Bible camp, we'd sing this all the time. That song, "This little light of mine,
Yes, that's
I'm
it.
gonna let it shine." And the one place that my family was able to go to a few times that was just so magical, and I'm so grateful because my son Parker really connected with the energy of, was Hawaii. And so this just came across me the other day. I heard it on Spotify, and it was she does this beautiful rendition where she does one verse of "You're My Sunshine," one verse of "This Little Light of Mine," and then she sings it in Hawaiian. And it is the
Wow.
most magical, beautiful.
Oh.
And let me just say, if anybody here watching, well, we all lose loved ones. And it's none of us are getting out of it. And some hurt more than others. And it's, it's part of life. But if these little signs, if you're open to them, of continued communication, it was 100% my son putting that in front of me, going, "Mama, it's going to be okay." Like, you listen to this song and you cry, you laugh, you do whatever you need to do. And I listened to this song. I will never get sick of it.
I love that so much. That's
What
perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you guys have a second, I'll tell you the name of the song just in case anybody wants to look it up, because no matter where you're at in your life, it is a beautiful song. You guys can go ahead and talk. I'll just take a second. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's "You Are My Sunshine" by Kimmy Minor, but Kimmy is
I want to say
What, Rhonda?
No, I'm just going to write it down. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
Sunshine.
Yes, Kimmy is Kimie. Kimmy, and then Minor is Miner. I highly encourage you guys. I guarantee it will remind you of either somebody that you know and love, or how bright your light is. And with the fog and these fires and this, COVID and all of it, all of the density, all of the water, it's like the light, we need to balance that out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for hanging out. I know we came with one intention and had a whole different path, come out before us. So I'm grateful for the unfolding of what is perfectly exactly what we needed. And thank you for facilitating for us. That was beautiful.
I'm just so happy to be here and to see the change in the aura. And I thank you for letting me be a part of your beautiful show and doing the beautiful magic. And there's something about the power of four, because the four of us ended up coming together. Everything happens in perfect alignment, like for some reason the other three, just at the last minute, something came up for each of them, but this was perfect. It was probably
meant to be.
Meant to be with the four, the 4 day. And that's the message. That's the takeaway for everybody at home, is to go look up the number 4, make a intended focus that you're going to empower that energy. And the Muses is also the 4 powerful, beautiful women coming together in the same fashion as Spirit Sessions. So check us out. You can see us on Facebook, where our page is just Muses, Muses. And you can also catch us on Instagram and YouTube. I think it's under Muses of Light. I know it's under Muses of Light.
That's awesome.
Our show is on Facebook Mondays at...
And we put...
Oh, you put it all in? Rhonda?
Yeah. No, but say it again.
Oh, okay. I'm so used to doing it from the show. So Mondays, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so that's 11 Central and 12
Eastern.
Thank you.
Yes. So exactly 24 hours after our show on Mondays, you can catch them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, we're just going to keep this party going.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So our love to you.
Yes.
All of you.
Absolutely. And for those who are really looking forward to hanging out with the Muses and the Spirit Sessions ladies all together, we will definitely reschedule and get us all together again, so look forward to that in the future. it's divine timing. Everything works out exactly as it's meant to. And before we go, the winner of last week's Share It Out was Lynn Marie. You won with me. Congratulations. I will be scheduling with you. Share this week out to win with Teresa, and to help those who may be struggling with the idea that the breath is so easy to access. We have to stop telling ourselves that this is a struggle, that we're having trouble breathing, that there may be things holding us back from breathing. Release the grief, allow the breath, and remember that 20 minutes of breath work took us from density to being so vibrant and beautiful and pulling in that beautiful energy. So just remember that with breath, you can change everything. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you, Katie. We love you.
Awesome.
I love you too. Bye, everybody.
Have a blessed week.
Namaste.
And thank you. Remember, next week we have Prashni, so don't mix.
Parashni, yes. Parashni is going to talk about animal
Great.
communication. So that's going to be super exciting. We love her. She's one of our favorite all-time guests, and we're going to have her back. So yeah, Parashni Naidu will be on next week. So we will see you next week, same time, same Spirit Session station.